Hi, I'm Mike with Become a Better Guitar Player, and today I'm going to give you what I call lesson number 1. Hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, like and subscribe to our channel. And it's absolutely free, it helps us out a lot, and we can continue to bring you these videos. So let's get started. So my lesson number 1 is explaining to you the pieces and parts of a guitar, because it was brought to my attention recently that I started out showing somebody how to play something, and they had all these questions. I was like, I just took that for granted because I had been doing it for so long. So I'm going to explain everything on the guitar and how to hold it and some things like that. All right. So this is for people that have just bought a guitar or they're thinking about buying one. This hopefully will help you out. Okay. So, and by the way, welcome to the addiction of guitars if you're starting out. So, all right. So to begin with, there are two main parts to a guitar. So you've got the neck and you've got the body. And this is going to be very similar between acoustic and electric guitars. I'm going to explain it on an electric guitar. So this is the neck, and this is what you call the headstock up here. These are the tuners. The tuners are what you turn them to tighten the tension on the string to make the pitch higher. You loosen them to release the tension, and it makes the pitch lower. When you start out, the first thing you need to learn how to do is tune your guitar. No matter how hard you try, if your guitar isn't tuned, you won't sound good. So it's not that hard these days. You can buy these little chromatic tuners for $5 or $10, and they make it very simple to tune your guitar. That's where the first thing, just the first song you need to learn. Okay, up here you've got these tuning gears, all right? And this is what you call a string tree. And this just pushes the strings down so they stay on the neck correctly. Most electric guitars have these. Some don't. Most acoustics do not have these. But if the guitar needs it, I guess it comes with it, right? So this is what you call the nut. And this is like fret number 0. This is where things begin on the neck. And from there, you've got these frets. This guitar only has 21 frets, some have 24, some of them have, acoustic guitars have less than that sometimes, but this is, your first fret is number 1, 2, 3, okay? And when you fret the string on the neck, you push down between the frets. And then if you want to play the first fret, I usually push it down a little closer to the fret than the fret or the nut behind it. You want to push it down enough to where it rings. If you don't push it down hard enough, it'll rattle like that. If you push it down to the wood, which you don't really need to do, you'll actually raise the pitch of the string. So you just got to push it down enough to where it rings. All right. Now your strings are going to be your biggest string is on the top, which would be the lowest pitch, and the highest string will be on the bottom. It goes, standard tuning is E, A, D, G, B, and then E again. And that's standard tuning. Now, some people tune differently. Some people tune the entire guitar a little lower. Some people just tune this E string down to a D. A lot of the grunge rock bands in the 1990s did that. Eddie Van Halen did that a bit. There was a lot of people that did the drop D. A lot of rock bands tuned lower. Some old blues people tuned to an open chord, to where when they strummed it open, it would be a D chord or a G chord. But standard tuning, when you're starting out especially, is going to be E, A, D, G, B, and E again. Most songs you learn you're gonna be able to play in that tune. So you come on down the neck here, and there's these dots, and these are fret markers. So usually there's one at 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. There's a corresponding smaller dot on the edge, and that's so you can look down at a glance. If you're not looking at the front of your neck, and you can see the top and you can tell which fret you're on. Most electric guitars have the fret markers up here too. So when you get to the 12th fret, this is what they call an octave. So the 12th fret, right here, this fret, one in front of these dots, is basically the nut. So once you get to this 12th fret, the notes start over again. So this is an E string, this is an open E note, and when I come down here on the 12th fret, we're at E again. So it goes E, F, G, E, F, G. So the 12th fret is it's a milestone on your neck, I guess. So in a lot of acoustic guitars, the body comes up to here. So a lot of acoustic guitars, most people don't even play above the 12th fret. Some people do. Some of them even have a cutout, so you can do that. So, and then on this guitar, I've got another one on 15, which is 3 frets above 12 is what that is. So 15, 17, 19, 21, which is the last fret on this neck. So, and the front is called the fretboard. So that's the parts of your neck. And the next main part is going to be the body of the guitar. So, and this is an electric guitar, so it has 2 pickups. The pickups are what takes the sound, the vibrations from the strings, out, sends it out through the cord and into your amplifier. You can sit around and play an electric guitar without an amplifier and practice. I do it all the time. And if you sound really good just playing like this, when you plug in, you'll sound even better, I think. That's always been sort of a thing for me. So this guitar has 2 pickups. It has a front pickup, and then they call this the bridge pickup. So this type of a guitar was very popular among country people. So this had 2 very sort of quietish, clean sounding pickups, which was very popular in country music. Some other guitars have big pickups for, like, if you want to play some heavy metal or rock and roll, they'll use these big humbucker pickups. This is another guitar I have. It has 3. I just get a few more different sounds out of it. But this guitar was probably designed and put out about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years after this, in the 1950s. It's still an old design of a guitar, but just gives you more of a variety of sounds. So, all right, and this is the pick guard. And this is so you don't scratch up your guitar playing with your pick. It also covers up some wires and things inside of it. So some guitars don't have any pick guards. This one does. So, and then when you go back here, this is called the bridge. The bridge is where the strings originate from. In this guitar, you poke a string in through the back, you pull it out through here, you take it up here and you put it on the tuning gears, and then you adjust the tension of it. And these are adjustable. These are called the saddles. And this adjusts the intonation of the string so that if you're hitting an E note up here and you hit an E note way down here on 12, it's still an E note. It fine tunes it. Almost all electric guitars have this. Almost no acoustic guitars have this. And I guess that's because typically you play those in the first 12 frets. That's probably not something as a beginner you're going to want to adjust yourself. That would be something I would take to a guitar shop. So down here I have this switch. So since I have multiple pickups, I have a pickup selector switch. And this switch, when I put it all the way forward, it's playing through this pickup here. When I put it all the way back, it's playing on this back pickup. When I put it in the middle, it's playing both of them. You get different sounds with different pickups and different combinations of pickups. It's just something you have to sit around and play with, and you find a sound you like. There's a sound you like for playing songs. There's a sound you like for playing chords and practicing. I mean, there's so many different options available to you. It just comes with what you like to do. So, and then we have two knobs. This is the volume knob. This turns the volume up and down. And this is the tone knob. The tone knob is, it makes it, when your tone knob is all the way up, you're playing through your pickups the way they're designed. When you turn the tone back, you're taking some of the tone out of it. You're taking some of the trebly sounds out of it. I don't adjust my tone knob much. I know jazz people and some country people, they adjust their tone knob a lot. I typically don't use it much, and I don't think, it's just not my forte, but some people do it. It depends on what you like to hear when you play. These are called strap buttons. I always like to use a strap when I practice. Whether it's got tension on it or not, it keeps me from dropping my guitar. And people do it all the time, and it's not really a good thing to do with your guitar. So I always like to have a strap on when I'm practicing. Especially, I like to sit on a stool and do it, so it's a little tall. So I really would be dropping it a long way. So then when you come down here, there's a plug-in for the electric guitars. Now, a lot of acoustic guitars these days are also, you can plug them in. I'm surprised. It used to be an unusual thing. Now almost every acoustic guitar I see at a guitar store, you can also plug it in, and they've got a little volume knob up here. So let's plug it in. So I get my cord here, I plug it into here, just like that. All right. Then I take my volume knob and turn it up. I almost always, for me, my volume knob, and a lot of people don't do this, but this is what I like to do. My volume knob, I turn it up all the way. It's almost like an on and off switch for me. Sometimes I'll turn it back a little bit for some reason or another, but I usually just turn it up all the way. My tone knob turned up all the way. I fine tune my sound through my amplifier, and I have a simple little practice amp here I'm playing through. When I play live, I put a little more thought into it, but this is just for playing, and I make some videos, and I like a really clear sound. So when I first sit down, I like to get comfortable with my guitar. I sit like this. Some classical players like to put their guitar on their fretting leg. This is a pretty natural way. It's good for your left hand to play like this. And a lot of those people, they'll put their fretting foot on a stool or something that raises it up. So you get the neck up like this. And probably the most natural way for your left hand is to basically have your thumb between these two fingers on the back of the neck, like this. That's probably going to be your most I don't know what you call it, ergonomical way of doing it. It's good for your wrist, and you try to keep your wrist bent or straight like this, and it's a more of a natural feeling for your left hand. And I always see like people trying to get chords like this, or they, leaning on it. I mean, if you're uncomfortable when you're playing your guitar, you're probably gonna have a hard time getting your fingertips on the neck. And if you don't do that, then you'll be fretting out notes when you play chords. So they call it having rounded fingertips. That's where you use the very tip of your finger like this. And when you start playing some more complicated chords, you don't do this, you'll be fretting out all your strings. So that's a very common thing for people that are starting out, is getting comfortable mainly with their left hand and their wrist. So then in your right hand, if you're starting out, most people are going to use a pick. I use these big picks because I can feel them in my fingers and I can hold on to them pretty well. So what I do is I have it sticking off the side of my thumb like that. And then I use my first finger to hold it like that. And I have just about that much of it sticking up. When you're starting out and you're picking, you're probably not going to do any complicated picking. You're going to want to make a chord up here, and then you're going to want to make sure all the strings are ringing. So when you learn your first couple of chords, you just want to be able to go down and make all the strings ring, because when you start out, it's going to be a little hard to do that. Okay, so you want to then after you get comfortable going down like this, try going up. When you do that, you want to get this, I liken it to like a paintbrush. When you paint, you go like this, you paint down, you go like that. You want to do it? You hit the strings individually, slowly, make sure they all ring. Change your chords up here. What you're doing is you're working on the coordination between your two hands when you do that. When you're picking on an electric guitar, I guess even on an acoustic guitar, the closer you are to your bridge back here, the more of a treble-y sound you're going to get. It's going to go. And I guess the challenge is getting to where you can pick it in both places. You can pick it anywhere down here. So to me, that is what a person needs when they first start playing a guitar. What are the pieces and the parts and how to hold it and get comfortable. And then you can start learning some music after you tune your guitar, of course. So I hope this helps you out. And if it does, subscribe to our channel, okay? It's completely free and it helps us out a lot, and we can continue to bring you more lessons, all right? If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you, and have a good day.